Tonight, from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. As we'll see Dak Prescott and the Carolina Panthers versus Deshaun Watson and the Houston Oilers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Ahead we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Houston Oilers and the Carolina Panthers. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up so he could use the rest, and I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one, because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete there to Johnson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. First carry for DeAndre Swift. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Second and 9.
Right, 58, right there. Watch the slant, watch the slant. And 58's the mic. Go 58's the mic.
Prescott now from the 50. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside. Two catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going.
And he will take it across for Panthers touchdown. Dak Prescott, 27 yards. And the Panthers are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it was all capped off by Dak Prescott, keeping it and taking it in on the touchdown run. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
And it wasn't really his best performance of the year in the wild card round last week. He just had the one touchdown pass, but he got the job done and his team advanced. For them to continue on to the championship round, though, he's going to need to take a few more chances with the ball downfield, push it a little bit more, and make sure his team finds its way into the end zone a few more times.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 73 yards. And the Oilers are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Extra point try good by Gano. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Kamoko Toure. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. And this won't be enough. A good secured tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Watson. He's got his man, it's Andrews. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Faking the give, now Watson. He'll buy some time right. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Houston. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Oilers have taken the lead. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Panthers now set to take over offensively. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run out of the gun with Swift. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The option to give to Swift here. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Prescott. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. 60 yards. And the Panthers are... extra point away from tying up this game. Lambeau on for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're lining up at 14. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
From the 50, it's Watson. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Watson off play action. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Fuller. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense falls asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Eckler, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
On 2nd and goal, Watson escaping the pressure, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And his guys are going to take the lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 21-14. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. On the return, Deontay Harris. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On the option to give to Swift here. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. We'll go out to the flat for Edmonds. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And getting this just shy in midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Prescott looks to throw on first. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders. And they're rolling. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
This is caught. It's Kirk. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Off of play action, it's Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. As they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
56 Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Back to throw. Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Pushing through the contact. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. To throw is Prescott. Finding Knox there, complete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC Divisional Round game. And you can see the result there. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Goddard.
A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this out to the 25. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, it may get even bigger plays in the passing game. And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe one block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete. We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Watson now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's taken down inside the 30.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Jet sweep. Here comes Fuller. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Mack is in for a touchdown. No CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And that's out to the flat for Swift. Fighting through, and he's got space. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Prescott now, option right. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. KJ Osborne there to make the grab. And the Panthers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. DJ Reed, who played in college at Kansas State, made the tackle. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Running on first down, Eckler shifts past him at the 45. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now they're setting up a screen here on the left side, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Watson slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Once more, here's Eckler. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the close fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run with a fullback. Use check. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Try to punch it in with Eckler. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Gano for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is DJ Reed returning. And makes it across the 20 as these guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Charlotte, good night, everybody.